Welcome to another video. Here is the ultimate guide to mastering your emotions. If you are tired of letting your emotions control your life, then this video here is for you. We are going to go over three major lessons. Number one, self-awareness is the key to emotional mastery. Number two, we're going to go over breathing and grounding techniques for regulation. And then number three, reframing triggers in order to change your responses forever. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So let's speak about the power of awareness. Again, what people do not realize is that awareness comes by a lot easier when you recognize the sensations that take place in your body before you're triggered. Think of this as you checking your surroundings before walking into a door. Okay. Everything lives in the body. Everything begins in the body. So check your sensations. Check where the sensations are in your body before reacting. This is awareness. This is important because this all plays a part of observing your emotions and not attaching yourself to them. So when you feel something, say I feel. Don't say I am mad, I am sad, I am frustrated. Say I feel sad, I feel angry, I feel frustrated. To detach from the emotion, because you are not the emotion. You are simply experiencing it. When you allow yourself to observe your body, observe how you're feeling, you create distance. And when you create distance, again, you are separated from the emotion, so it becomes that much easier to control. The reason why we want to observe and we want distance from the emotion or the feeling is because you want to break the pattern of being consumed by it, right? This is the beginning of all reactions, is attaching yourself to the emotion and also allowing yourself to be consumed by it. I would also love to mention the fact that one of the greatest mistakes you can also make when it comes to feeling your emotions is suppressing them. So I have a grand history of not honoring my emotions or deeming them as bad, judging them negatively. So what happens when we suppress is the emotions and the feelings are still there, and they actually only intensify for the next time a circumstance or a scenario plays out that brings that emotion, instead of you attacking or you getting to the bottom line or the underlying cause of your feeling or your emotion. It just continues to grow. It doesn't go anywhere. It's still inside of the body. The experience is still live. So you have to get to the underlying root of that emotion, of who caused it, what caused it, so that you can have understanding. There is a phenomenal power in recognizing your patterns, recognizing what caused this before and what is causing it now. That is awareness. That is understanding. Those elements bring you change. So with you recognizing what something is before it comes to the door and not identifying yourself as the storm, but the observer of the storm, and understanding where this all has taken place before, you have become efficiently aware. You are now the observer of this reality and not the attachment of these negative emotions. So within that element, you find control. So let's go ahead into lesson number 2. Remember this if you don't remember anything else. When you slow your breath, you slow your mind. This is how you take control over your mental space, is you have to control your breath. So I'm going to share with you a technique right now. This is called the 4-7-8 breathing exercise. And how it works is you simply inhale for 4 seconds. You then want to hold it for 7 seconds. And after your 7 seconds, you're going to exhale out of your mouth for 8. And what this does is just simply bring you down to earth. It grounds you and it gives you a much more regulated state because you have simply taken your intention of calming your mind down through a practice, through a specific technique that regulates the mind and the body. A steady breath is a steady mind, as steady eyes is a steady mind. This second technique I'm going to share with you is all about focusing on what is real and not what is in your mind. Oftentimes, our mind can create false scenarios, as you probably know, and this is unhealthy. So we want to take back control of our mind by simply doing this. Whenever you're in a high dysregulated state, what I want you to do is name 5 things that you see. You're then going to name 4 things that you feel, 3 things that you can hear. Going on in your reality, it could be anything, anything. You're then going to name 2 things that you can smell. Sit in your reality and identify 2 things you can smell. And then the last thing that you're going to do is just simply name 1 thing that you can taste. What this does is ground you into your reality. You get out of your head and back into your body. In the moments of high emotional intensity, you must remember that you are in control. That is the biggest thing to remember, because oftentimes the emotions get so large that we often let go of the reins of our own selves that tend to bite us in the end because we lost control over ourselves. So you have the power to stop. You do. You have the moment, and that's what it is all about. It is all about the moments that you capture. You have the moment to stop yourself and go back into being the observer. Remember, you are the observer of your feelings and your emotions. And you have the moment and you have the freedom. So take the freedom, take the liberty of breath. Take a moment to breathe before your next actions. I want you to think of your next actions as the results of your life, because they are. So breathe and have a moment of clarity before making your next decision, before taking on your next action. You have the power to stop, observe, and then take an action. So here is lesson number 3, reframing your triggers. If you like this video so far, give me a like if it is helping you at all. If you have any questions, comment down in the comment section below. Lesson number 3, reframing your triggers. So we spoke a lot about the patterns that take place when it comes to your emotions and your decisions. And we want to double down on this right now. I speak a lot about this, even with your beliefs. What you want to do is replace your triggers with a more constructive thought, with a more constructive model. So previously, we spoke a lot about the power of your patterns. So right now, I'm going to give you a key tool to use. When you have your triggers pop up, what you can simply do, again, this is all about being in control, is create yourself a constructive alternative. So when you feel yourself triggered and a negative action comes to your mind, simply replace it with a more constructive decision, a more constructive choice. Because when you repeat the same patterns, you create the same life. You create the same results. So we're allowed to have an old trigger pop up, but we are also allowed to come up with a much more constructive alternative. Because when you change the meaning, you change the emotion. So instead of having a negative sensitivity or sensitivity at all in that manner to a negative person, instead shift your perspective to maybe that person is just having a terrible day. Maybe that person just got some really bad news. It's great power in empathy and understanding and perspective. And so when you implement this in your life, you change the meaning and trajectory of your whole life. And again, you find dominance and you find control over your emotions. What I learned in my life personally is that your triggers are not here to break you. They are only here to build you. They're here to resurrect you and show you where your change lies on the horizon. So today, as we end this video, as the ultimate guide to gaining control over your emotions, I want you to look at your triggers as a symbol of change, a symbol to becoming a better you and making more mindful decisions. So I hope you've taken a bunch of notes and that you implement these sooner rather than later. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.